Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Your entire life can change in the blink of an eye. 1 minute, I am creating content with someone who I thought I could spend my life with, and the next minute, I'm cleaning up the destruction that their hands left. I finally came back to my apartment, and my goals this week are to be kind to myself and to stay out of bed. I'm spending time with my son, and I went and bought myself flowers, but in all of this, I realized that healing is not linear, that everything happens for us, not to us. There has to be something at the end of this tunnel, and I'm just waiting to see that light. But until then, being awake is enough. Being here is enough, and I'm thankful for that.
Hi tribe, it's Yoni and I'm back with another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Briana Williams story. This story was sent to me by a mentee of mine, and she asked and she requested that I do a full breakdown of this story. Briana Williams is a LA attorney, an image architect, and she's a luxury lifestyle traveler, digital creator. Some would say she is a part of the luxury digital creating space online, and she recently informed her fan base that the man that she had posted on her platform as her boyfriend and model allegedly has been abusing her.
It's been a really long and tough couple of nights, and I guess day or so, because this thing happened yesterday. But I did want to come over here, and because I already posted these pictures, which I know are gruesome and not self-explanatory, I did want to come on here and kind of explain what happened with everything. So this might be a multi-part, not a series, but I guess video, because I don't want to be talking on here for 20 minutes. But I did want to come here and talk about pretty much what happened. Just to start, this is a really heavy source of pain for me. Sorry. It's been really hectic. So basically, long story short, I'll start the situation from when I left town. I decided to go on a trip with my mom. Originally, my sister was supposed to come on the trip. I don't even want to get into the weeds of that and make this about my sisters. I've been seeing comments and their contributions that are extremely negative. It was all relative to this European trip that we were supposed to take. They didn't end up coming, or one of my sisters didn't, and that just became its own thing, which is now why they're, I guess, showing support for this guy. I don't want to get into that. I just leave it to them and their platforms. Whatever. But we were planning this trip, and I booked the tickets. The reason that I did not want to go to Europe with Ronan is because honestly, I just want to be honest with you guys, he couldn't afford it. And I know that if he was going to come out there and we were going to go to all of these beach clubs and restaurants, I was going to be taking on the bulk, if not all, of the financial responsibility, as was pretty standard in the relationship, because he does not have a job. So I was going to be taking on the bulk of that, and I did not want that. So I did not invite him to Europe, and I didn't think it was a good idea that we even went together, because right before the Europe trip, he had gotten caught cheating with someone like down the street. It was like this big thing, and I don't want to get into that either. But I just did not. I had checked out, and I stopped wanting to be with him. And that is why I stopped posting content with him. I had originally stopped posting content because I did not want to be in a relationship with him anymore. I also had a real guilt in my heart about the fact that I knew what was happening behind closed doors, and I know what I stand for. I know I'm a girl's girl. I know I'm an advocate for I know I'm an advocate for women and empowerment and information exchange and love and honor and all of those things. And what was going on behind closed doors with us did not align with the things that I promote and take pride in publicly. So I wanted to take this trip, and I ended up booking it. He was very upset that I booked it. He wanted me to take him. He wanted me to pay for him to go. At one point, he asked me to put him on my car loan so that he could take out a loan to go to the trip, and he would pay. They could use my car as collateral or something like that. I was like, no, I just want to go by myself, and I ended up going. I ended up booking this trip. My mom ended up coming because all of this fallout happened with my sisters or whatever. And on the trip, I had decided to separate myself from him. Now, I want to start with the day before I left. The day that I left. The day that I left, he actually tried to make me miss my flight. The entire day was he physically assaulted me. He sprained my toe. I had bruises from head to toe. He just hurt me, and he just kept on physically assaulting me. And again, I think it was because he just didn't want me to go, and I almost didn't even make the trip. I actually was 5 minutes. I got to the airport at 4:03, and the flight left to Europe, to Ibiza, at 4:50. They told me I was originally not going to get on the flight, and I actually ended up getting on the flight because I was crying and limping and no, I planned this whole thing. My mom's waiting for me in Spain. What am I going to do? So they literally let me check my flight. I already checked in the car, but they let me check my bag and such, so we were good. But leading up to me going to Ibiza was hell. I was physically assaulted over and over and over again for hours and hours and hours on end, to which I made my family aware and such. And that, in conjunction with his cheating, in conjunction with his inability to provide or keep a stable job, are the reasons that I was like, this Europe trip is going to be time that I use to reflect, to cut him off. Okay, so I just want to end this part with saying that I decided to go on a trip. I decided that during the trip we would go our separate ways, and the trip was for me to find myself again. And he abused me prior to the trip, the day of me going to the trip. So it just further confirmed that we would never work. And I made sure I called my building before I left, because I was able to get him out of my apartment. He wanted to stay when I was gone. I did not want him in my apartment, did not want him driving my car. I took my keys with me. I locked the door. That was a huge fight. Oh my God, it took me hours to get out, but I made sure, and I called down to my building for proof. I have a witness that I told them, do not let anybody in my apartment while I'm gone. There are no authorized guests. There was no authorized guest. Nobody can go in my apartment. Do not let anybody in my unit. And then I flew to Europe. Once I got on the flight, I started texting him. I was very hurt, confused, and lost. I wanted to let him know how I felt, and I kind of wanted him to feel the pain that I felt. And I was just telling him I hate him and all of these things that women say when they're super upset and traumatized. So I was texting him all of those things, you did this, you did this, you did this, and I'm so upset and whatever. He was pretty much dismissive about it. I'll probably post the text here. And I just decided at that point and during the trip that there was no more reason for us to speak. We'd been through too much. There was too much abuse and cheating and all of that stuff that went on. So I decided to sever ties. I blocked him from everything, would not let him contact me. He started harassing my mom. My mom also had to block him and tell him stop contacting her. He then reached out to my sisters. My older sister wasn't going for it. My two younger sisters, different story, but form your own opinions on that. I don't even want to talk about it. And so it was finally time for me to come home. I got to my building on July the 12th at, I believe, 10 o'clock at night. And when I pulled up to my building, I was on the phone with my dad, and I was talking about how excited I was to be back. And lo and behold, he was already standing in front of the building waiting for me. I don't know how he knew what time I got in. I don't know how he knew he knew what day I was supposed to be coming back, I think, from when we had talked before. I don't know if he'd seen my ticket. I just don't know. But he knew, he timed it. He was standing in front of my apartment building waiting for me outside. When I didn't even get out the cab. He opened the car door and was like, let's go. He grabbed my bags from the cab driver, and he tried to take my stuff upstairs, and he told me we're going upstairs. I told him we are not going upstairs, and I told him that I did not feel safe with him going upstairs because I know that he was upset that I'd blocked him during the trip, and I knew that things were getting out of hand, and if I got alone with him upstairs in my apartment, that I was going to be further physically assaulted and pressured into things that I didn't want to do probably. So I did not feel safe with him going upstairs. We had not spoken for quite some time, and I told him he couldn't go upstairs. He had my bags in his hands. He starts yelling, "Shut up." He starts name calling me. He starts grabbing me. The security guards downstairs see him grabbing me. There's 2 security guards, and they immediately try to alleviate the situation. They're like, "Hey, stop touching her. She said you can't go upstairs. You can't go." There's a huge argument in the lobby. He's like, "I'm going. I don't give a fuck. Tell her." Oh, I don't know if I'm able to say that on here. Hopefully that doesn't get flagged. I don't know. I've never done this before. But he's like, "I'm going. I don't give an F. Tell her that, she needs to take me upstairs. I just need to get my stuff." Mind you, he told me early on when I'd first left and we were having those text exchanges and I'd locked my door and left the house, that he'd called security and they had escorted him into my house and they had already given him his property. He had gone through my apartment, got what he wanted, and left. So this is all in contravention to me calling security and telling them not to let anybody in my unit when I'm gone under any circumstances, to which they agreed to. They didn't care. When I left, they went, used their master key, unlocked my unit, and let him into my apartment. And he was able to take whatever in his things. He is not on the lease, and he is not an authorized person in the building. So I don't know how and why that happened. So when he showed up, as I was coming back from the airport, demanding that I take him in my apartment to get his things, I was confused because I knew that he'd already been in the apartment with security. Allegedly, he was like, "Oh, they walked with me allegedly, like, to get his stuff." And I know for a fact he was in the apartment, but I don't know if he got anything. I don't know what he did. I don't know what him and security were doing. He's made friends with the security guards at the building, and I guess they had a relationship where they were taking him in my house. Long story short, security let him into my building when I was not there. So when he did come back and meet me and bombard me at the door when I finally got off my flight, demanding his things from my apartment, it was strange because he already had been inside my apartment to get his things. So I don't know. I then, I would not let him in. A entire debacle ensued. I told him, I finally said, "Hey, I'll go upstairs and get your stuff," because he was manhandling me downstairs to the point where securities had to intervene. I said, "I'll go ahead and get it and bring it down, but I do not want you coming upstairs to my door." There are 3 points of security access when you get to my building. There is the concierge desk, the elevator, and once you get up the elevator, which requires key access, there's a middle door which requires further key access to the units. So I'm thinking like, okay, he really can't get to me. I'm just going to bring his stuff back down through the elevator and just call it a day. Well, when I left my apartment and came out of residences, those middle doors, he had gotten up the elevator somehow. I don't know, with the security, I don't know how, but he was standing with 2 security guards, charging his phone on the wall, and then causing a scene, saying that he needed to get to me to talk to me. I handed him his things immediately and was like, "Gotta go." I turned around to leave, and he starts chasing me down the hallway. Security starts chasing him, so everyone's chasing each other. It's very ghetto, very strange, and I'm telling him I don't want to have a conversation. There's literally nothing to talk about. At that point, I was over it. There's so much that has gone on, so much egregious, nefarious things that have gone on in this relationship. I did not want to talk. Security asked me in front of him, "Do you want to talk to him?" I said no. They said, "Listen, sir, she does not want to have a conversation with you. You need to go." They had tried to physically restrain him because he was trying to physically attack me, and he stood in the hallway and he was just like, "No, it's fine. She's good. I'm not touching her." He always does that. Like, he'll try to be like, "Oh," he'll put his hands on me and be like, "I'm not putting my hands on you." But you are. He told them, "I'm not touching her, blah, blah." At that point, I like slid against the wall. I'm like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do?" I think I have a little video clip of that. I'll try to add that to this, actually.
This is for our purposes, bro. I didn't touch you and I'm not touching her. It's okay. All right, but I still gotta let you know. You gotta do shit. Look, bro, you gotta do shit. You already put your hand. It's okay, bro. I don't care.
After the incident with security, they were finally able to get him to leave, and he left. Though he called me all night long, he finally did leave my property. Next thing you know, I go to sleep. I wake up early in the morning. He's at my door. He's pushing himself inside the door. I open the door to see who is outside the door, and he's pushing himself inside. Apparently, he had bypassed security, or actually, I don't think he bypassed them. I think that they were in on it because he did say, which was confirmed, and I'll release all of this video footage, by the security guard, that the woman downstairs spoke to him and showed him some group chat between the security guards discussing the incident from the night prior. He also did say that he was somehow able to come up. He went through the elevator, which again requires a security card. He went through the residential door unit, which requires security, and he got to my door. He pushed himself inside, and the first thing he did was try to force himself upon me. I did not want to have sex with him, and I just completely was like over it. I was obviously still upset from the night before. He did not care. He wanted to have sex at that point. I was telling him to leave. I told him I did not want him to be there. I told him several times, and ultimately, like, I guess maybe a couple hours later, like, this went on for a little while, a physical fight started. It started when he picked me up and by my face, and he slammed me on the couch, and he called me a stupid fucking bitch. Damn, can I say that on here? He called me a stupid effing B. And then he just continued to grab grab my face in the palm of his hand, smash his face in there, and just kept palming me, snatching me, squeezing my face. My lips are busting at this point. My mouth filled up with blood. My nose filled up with blood. He's throwing me around. At one point, he slams my head against the bathroom wall. He's spitting loogies in my face over and over. He slams my head against the toilet. He's holding me against the toilet. He's smashing my face against the toilet. He's dragging me all over the apartment. I'm actually trying to fight back. I am hitting. I am swinging. I am scratching. But obviously, he's much bigger than me. I'm like 140 pounds. I'm 5'10" though. And he is like 6'3", 200 pounds. So there was a very obviously uneven power struggle there. I continued to swing at him. At one point, I did hit him right here, and he got really mad at that. I realized the more I fought back, the more upset that he was. So he came up to me, he grabbed me by the face, literally by the face and the neck, and picked me up and slammed me on the floor. I believe that is when I got a concussion, as ruled by the hospital later on. While I was on the floor, he then punched me in the eye. My eye's looking a lot better now, but it was like really looking bad. He hit me in the eye, and then he hit me again in the face. So I'm on the floor, my face is swelling up, my nose is bleeding, my mouth is bleeding, and I can't even open my left eye. Literally, the moment it happened, it immediately started swelling, and it was just a mess. From that point, I lost consciousness, and I started shaking, and I just remember begging him to take me to the hospital. I knew that he wasn't going to let me go anywhere alone. I knew he would let me make any phone calls because he took my phone. So at that point, I just started begging him to take me to the hospital. I'm getting a lot of questions about why I'm telling the story kind of in the fashion I am. I think it's because I am someone who also watches TikTok, and I hate when people just drag things out, and I hate when people like talk really slow, and I typically watch my videos on high speed. I also feel insecure about being a burden on others and taking up people's time. I don't want to drag this out longer than it is, so I'm just trying to like tell it really fast, like get it out, and that be done with it. Okay, so I had to come inside because it was super loud out there. I was just trying to get some fresh air. So part 5. I started begging him to take me to the hospital after my body started convulsing. I had a concussion by that time, and my eye was bulging, lips bleeding, everything bleeding, nose leaking, everything happening. The reason that I begged him to take me to the hospital is because I knew that otherwise he wouldn't leave the apartment, and I wasn't going to get out of the apartment. And I kept on saying, that I'm gonna die, like you're gonna kill me if you keep me in here, because I don't know. Okay, all right, so I finally convinced him to take me to the hospital, and he said he was gonna take me to the hospital, and he starts like, I don't know, he starts looking for things, getting things. I'm like still trying to fight him off me. He's like trying to put me into little corners of my house, like sit right here, don't move, sit right here, don't move, sit right here. Like he threw me over his shoulder, he tried to carry me to the bed, put ice on my eye. I'm just like, please take me to the hospital. I don't want you to give me ice, I don't want any of this, take me to the hospital right now. He finally then walks out of my apartment with me to take me to the hospital. He grabs my keys, he grabs my phone, he's holding my keys and phone the entire time. I don't have access to it. And everyone's like, why didn't you call the police? He had my keys and my phone. He then walks out to the parking garage, and we walk out to the parking garage. I see a man in my distance that seemed like he was kind of bigger, so I'm like, okay, he might be able to help me. So I start screaming at the top of my lungs when I see someone finally. I scream, help, help, help. So the man finally comes over to help, and he then picks me up, throws me over his shoulder, and starts running me back towards the apartment, towards the residential hall doors to get me back into my apartment. I was like, no. I was holding on to everything in sight. I was holding on to doors, holding on. My nails are literally feel all loose. I'm like holding on to things, scratching things, grabbing everything, grabbing the floor, grabbing everything, grabbing the door frames, putting my feet in the door frame so that he could not get me into the door. Then the man comes and he's like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? He starts talking to the guy. He's like distracted or something. I guess like the guy intervened. I don't really know. There was something happened that distracted him that allowed me to get from his arms at that point. If we were standing right here, directly perpendicular to the elevator. So I run to the elevator. A couple is in there. They run out. I guess they're super scared. He runs in there after me, trying to grab me. I crouch down on the elevator floor and I grab the bar, like, I don't know, it's the support bar, like the pole or whatever. I grab it and I'm holding onto it for dear life. The guy follows us in the elevator. He's like, hey, stop, because he saw like the whole debacle on the floor with him trying to get me through the doors. And I was like, at one point I was laying on the floor. He was like trying to drag me. He was throwing me over. He just couldn't get me through the doors back into the apartment because I had already started screaming help and I knew someone heard me and saw me. So going back, I'm in the elevator and I'm holding on to the pole for dear life, and he's trying to pull me by my legs and grab me and pull me out of the elevator and such. The guy I was screaming for help originally, he came in the elevator. He's like, dude, let her go. I don't know what's going on. You can't do this, all of these things. And he's just like frantically pacing at this point. He doesn't know what to do. I'm talking about Ronan, because he knows like there's someone else there and he can't get me alone again. So the guy was just like, shut the elevator door, get out of the elevator. And for some reason he listened. And so the guy got in the elevator with me. Ronan left out of the elevator and it was just me and the guy. And at that point I knew that I was going to be safe. I was going to be able to at least get to a phone and make some calls. So I was crouched in the corner of the elevator and the guy was like, it's okay. You don't have to sit down. Just stand up. You're going to be fine. Stand up. I'm here. Just, we're going to be okay. And I was just still crouching. He's like, no, come here. Just stand up. Let go of the bar. You're fine. So I let go and I stood up and we were finally at the first floor. I walked straight to the lobby desk and I said, hey, I need you to call the police right now. Again, my whole face is dripping. So the girl at the front desk is just looking at me. Another security guard told me that girl at the front desk, she's new. She's quite young. One of the other security guards, and I have the footage, he told me that the girl was younger, she's a young black girl, she's new, and I think that he might have been also cool with her because he was making security guards friends with them in my building so that he could get access to my unit and such. That she was likely the one who let him up. So when I told her to call the police, she kind of froze and she just stood there with the phone in her hand, just looking at me. I think there's like a housekeeping knock and I got scared. Hold on. Okay, I heard a knock at my door and my heart dropped. I think I'm just gonna end this one right here. So at the end of the day, I begged him to take me to the hospital. He agreed. He took me to the parking garage. I kicked and screamed once I got to the garage because I saw other people. Again, I didn't call anyone or do anything. He had my keys. He had my cell phone. Someone helped me. I found my way to the elevator. They helped me downstairs to the lobby. I knew I would be able to call the police from the front desk. And this part ends with me at the front desk and the girl at the front desk. I told her to call and she's kind of like freezing, just standing there like this.
He left, and then I guess he must have came back later on because I left at 12.
He came back this morning.
Okay, yeah, see, I wasn't here.
He said he talked to someone. He was like, oh, they said that there's some security guard group chat and they
that
posted
lady,
a video.
It was the lady because when I came here, it was the lady at the front desk.
And she showed him that?
Yeah.
She said she showed him the group chat that they have with security guards or something like that. And she was like...
Yeah, because you remember I had to make...
There's a big commotion at the lobby at this point. I'm yelling to call the police. Other people are actually saying call the police too. The girl's kind of frozen and she finally starts dialing the police. He runs around the back of the building, bursts in. He has no shirt on. He's sweating. He looks crazy. He's like, don't call the police. He tells the girl, do not call the police. I'm going to handle this. I'm taking her to the hospital. We're going to handle this together. Do not call the police. The girl's just looking at him. The leasing agent comes down and he's like, no, call the police. Call the police. She gets on the phone with the police. The leasing agent, some other security guards, the people who worked there, they took me to the back and they put me in a room. It was like the leasing office actually, and they locked the door and such. They brought me water and they said, we're gonna call an ambulance. I didn't even ask for one. They just looked at my face and knew I needed one. the ambulance arrived and they said that I needed to go to the hospital to be checked out. I ended up going to the hospital. They gave me a CAT scan, MRI. I had to get IVs in my arm. It was really horrible experience. They actually gave me morphine because I was in so much pain. At that point, my eye was completely shut. It was really painful. And they also took record of my other injuries because, like I said, this has been going on for a long time. And right before I had even went on my trip, I also had gotten abused. And even, you can't even see it right here, he had like hit me in the chest, and I was already battered. So they were just taking record of all of these injuries, including the new ones. And the LAPD came. The LAPD came to the hospital. They asked me what happened. I told them everything. I told them I wanted to move forward with pressing charges. I told them that I wanted a emergency protective order, which I do have. So I do have a restraining order. I am getting it extended to the normal restraining order. He actually tried to call me while I was in the hospital. I did not answer. I told him to stop calling me. And I said, I'm in the hospital, stay away from me. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of everything. I wasn't going to come on social media and say anything, but I woke up the next day after having to go to a hotel. Now, on that, the police and the hospital staff could not release me if I didn't show proof that I had an alternate place to stay. I could not go back to my apartment because now it's just considered a straight up safety issue. We don't know where he is. I know he's like contacting people and such that I know, but we don't know where he's at. He has not made contact with the police. They went to the address that I gave them. He's not there. I don't know what he's doing, but I do know that after getting to the hotel, I've been here for 2 days now. I wake up on social media and he's posting things, and that's basically how we got here. I guess I'll get into that. What he posted on social media was a supportive message from my sister. To be clear, my sister and I had a falling out about the European trip that I went on. Actually, let me make this its own video. So I wanted to speak on this really quickly. I woke up, the reason that I decided to come on social media and say something is because I woke up and he was actually responding, he was posting support for my sisters. This was literally like at 6 a.m. On his Instagram, and my friends, both on Instagram and personal friends, were sending me text messages and stuff and saying, hey, why are your sisters publicly supporting this guy? I have 2 younger sisters, Kayla and Lulu. And I was very confused too. To be very clear, and I'll post it here, me and Kayla had a fallout over her not being able to afford to come to San Tropez after making all of these plans and inconveniencing me. It was very petty and it was whatever, but it ended up happening. We had a fallout. We went back and forth. Since then, she has been texting Ronan nonstop. She was giving him a play-by-play of my trip, which is why I believe he might have known where I was at. And she was just doing a lot of things that were extremely foul, and saying a lot of things that were extremely foul. She was also texting my mom during the trip saying, hey, why are you posting X, Y, and Z? She posted us dancing at the club or whatever. Ronan's really hurt and sad. Mind you, when I left, Ronan was actually with his ex-girlfriend the entire time. So the fact that he was playing the game like that on both sides, that's crazy. He literally called his ex-girlfriend the day I left, linked up with her and had sexual relations with her, confirmed by her. So I don't know why Kayla decided to come to his defense in this way or whatever. Lulu, on the other hand, and this is all just so irrelevant to me, but Lulu, on the other hand, she's literally mad at me because I'm mad at Kayla. So she came to me, cussed me out, went off on me, and was like, don't text Kayla anymore. She just blocked me from everything. And I haven't heard from her since, but she's been commenting in support of Ronan too. So, I mean, it seems like it might be this situation. I don't know. Right before I left for the trip, both of them were staying at my house. They were driving my car. I've taken them on trips. I have paid their phone bills. They've lived with me before. I've literally taken them to Paris, to Amsterdam, to Europe, to Russia. I don't understand where the new animosity is coming from. I see that they're posting like, oh, my family's in support of me, talking about them like, oh, like, we love the fans. I don't know what this is about. It could be because they both want to be content creators. I genuinely don't know. It's just the least of my concerns. I don't know why after Kayla knowing, and she's texted me about Ronan before, even right before the trip, knowing what he's done and how he's treated me, has decided to take the stance. But it is what it is, and I just realized that everyone cannot be your family. That's it. So I have distanced myself. and I'm just in this hotel. But I think that this is what she wanted. So it's not, I mean, she was texting Ronan's phone saying, let her, just leave her, let her come home to an empty house, let her see that she's going to be alone for the rest of her life, just all of this stuff. Like, again, I don't know what this is about. I was helping her with her content creation right before the trip. We had planned the Europe trip together. She just at the last minute couldn't afford to go. She had been upset with her boyfriend about him not being able to pay for her to come to all of these places. Again, I really don't know what the issue is with Kayla and Lulu, but this is the stance that they have taken. And because they've taken the stance, I don't want to be associated with them, and I don't want to hear anything of them. I don't care what I don't know what they have going on, and they will no longer be in my life ever. These are my blood sisters. So again, it just goes to show about family. When my sisters were posting in support of this guy, people started attacking them, and then they put their comments off and stuff, I think. And then I didn't say anything about them at all, but in response to all that, my mom texted me and she was like, having people attack your family and sisters is not okay. So I don't know. I guess ask her. She's also upset that I was public with this, and she said that I don't need to have my business on the internet, and I have her people calling her, and I need to handle this in private. Yeah. Okay, so I think that she's cut me off first because she thought that last video was disrespectful. So I'm receiving calls from my family, and also first of all, let me actually start this over. I think the saddest thing for me is that my sisters and whatever they have going on is such a minute part of the grand scheme of things, but it's like everyone's central focus. Not you all, but I guess in my people. So I'm receiving calls and such, and I'm seeing that they're saying oh, we're going to post a story time with receipts. And one thing that stuck out to me this morning on a call was oh, well, they can say a bunch of things about you in your past, and I don't know. That's their narrative. Oh, we can say all of these things, and we can tell everybody all of these things, and you've, got DUIs, and you've got this going on in this, and I can post your receipts, and they've directed people to gossip blogs and stuff. Okay.
So I had to give you the backstory, and her family not siding with her was crazy. So I dug a little deeper because I was trying to figure out why. It just does not make any sense. And then randomly, this TikTok page started posting things from her past. And now things are starting to make a little more sense about why her family is just not automatically taking her side or siding with her, because to be honest, I didn't understand why. So let's get into this. I don't know if this information is being posted by one of her sisters or someone from her family, but the information has made it to TikTok, but it has not gone viral. No one seems to be talking about it, but I had to include it in the full breakdown.
You record me all you want. I got bigger charges against you. Motherfuckers.
Post it. Post my life. Post everything I've went through. I'm 31. I've made a lot of mistakes. I lived a lot of life. So post it. If that's what you feel like you need to do to clear your name and justify your actions, post it. At the end of the day, again, I did not say anything wrong. I did not lie. I literally posted exactly what happened with the exact screenshots and the exact timelines per this current situation. And it was only relevant because they commented on his page in support of him, and he reposted it to almost justify his actions. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be part of the conversation. And they would have never gotten brought up outside of people finding them on his page and going at them. I've also been accused of sending people to their page to harass, bully, and death threat or whatever. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but let's be clear, I never did that. I never told anyone to say anything to them, and I literally have nothing to do with that. Again, they would not be part of any of this if they had not commented on his page and people sent it to me like, why are your sisters defending him? And he reposted the comments. The traffic was aimed at his page, and that was his only post at the time, was the repost of my family and their comments, as if to say like, oh, her own sisters agree with me. So it has nothing to do with me. I hate that I even have to address it, and I'm exhausted. I'm truly exhausted, y'all. Like I'm truly exhausted. I'm truly exhausted. I tried to go out with my friend today, and I just did not feel good about the way I look and all of this stuff going on. And I'm very, very sad, and I feel a little bit depressed. And I literally feel like I don't know. I'm just having dark thoughts. I'm having very sad and dark thoughts. So yeah.
Y'all, I am so tired of this. I am so tired of this. Like, at this point, I genuinely don't want to be here anymore. Like, I just want my life back. I'm staying in a hotel right now. I haven't even been able. I am a lawyer. I need to be working. I haven't even been able to go home. I haven't been able. My son calls me every morning before his school, and the first thing he sees to start his day is my bruised face. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to do anything. I got on here to tell my story, to talk about, this is between me and Ronan in my apartment building too at this point. I'm not someone, I've never cried on the internet in my life. And I keep seeing more and more stuff. It's like, I keep having to clarify. I have not spoken at all directly to my sisters since the argument that happened while I was out of town. All of this follow-up, I don't know where it's coming from. How about this? Instead of saying I'm not telling you guys to, how about don't go harass them? Don't go do whatever, because y'all, whatever everyone's saying to them, they're saying that I'm sending people to do this. I'm sending people to talk to their jobs. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to be real. I didn't know they had jobs. As far as I know for a fact, they don't have jobs. Neither of them. One lives with her boyfriend in Germany, who I've never met, by the way. The other one lives with my older sister in Georgia. I don't know anything they have going on. The last time I saw them in person, I was dropping them off at the airport from leaving my house, from allowing them to stay there for a trip. The last time I saw Kayla in person, I literally gave her a Chanel wallet because I had just bought a new one. I don't know where all of this is coming from, and I'm waking up. I've eaten one thing in 2 days. I'm in a place I don't want to be. I just want to go home. I want to be around my kids, but I don't even want to call them because of my face. It's embarrassing to get on the phone, and my son is so sweet. Every time I talk to him, he's like, "Oh, Mom, you look so much better, Mom." When I got to the hospital, the whole hospital was praying. Literally everybody in the room that was treating me were praying for me. And then I get on the internet, see things. I keep seeing so much stuff about me. It's just not true. Like, so say all that was true. Say you've witnessed all this violence and you've witnessed all this stuff. Mind you, I don't know where this is. I was with my son's dad for like 5 years. He is the most gentle person. He never put his hands on me in his life. If you witnessed all this as my family, why would you direct social media people to Reddit blogs which are saying things that are insanely not true? They're saying things like I got 10 DUIs, I got my kids taking all this shit. What are you talking about?
So before I get into the receipts that started coming out on TikTok about her past, how she may have allegedly lost custody of her daughter, I believe that there can be isolated incidences. Meaning, how did her eye get like that? That is an isolated incident. There are things that are coming out where it makes sense why her family is not just automatically siding with her, why her sisters and her mother have questions or they have doubt about her story. And I'm gonna go ahead and get into those receipts. However, with me saying that, this is still an isolated incident where this woman's eye is bruised. We can all clearly see that. So I don't know what happened. I don't even know who to really believe, because I'm going to get into Rowan as well. He's going to tell his side of the story. But I just want to make that clear that when it comes to the situation, I want to know what happened in this isolated incident where she came on social media with this bruised eye. And I believe that is the fair approach with trying to understand what happened in this situation, because it is very clear that it has now escalated to a point, in my opinion, of no return.
If you've been following the Love X Briana drama, then keep watching. Last week, Briana said that her ex Marlon never put his hands on her and that he was the most gentle person. However, last year, Marlon filed an order of protection against Briana for himself and his child. This was months before she would meet and start dating Ronan, who was 9 years younger than her. In the filing, Marlon alleged that Briana attacked him and their son, hitting their 4-month-old son in the face. And I'm sure many of you already seen the video of Briana throwing a surfboard into his house, breaking the window as her kids shrieked in the background. The exhibits show that at some point, Briana told Marlon that she planned to kill herself alone, but then clarified that she was going to kill herself with her daughter. Thankfully, the daughter now lives with her father. Briana claims that after she invited Ronan over for sex and he spent the night, that she took his phone because she was worried about who he might have brought to her house. But what's more likely, either that or did Briana take his phone because she thought he was cheating on her, and then when she found out, she got very upset. Now, I wasn't there, but neither were you, and I'm not willing to ruin a young man's life based on the claims of a woman who has a propensity of violence and has a propensity for lying. And she is still lying, even to you.
Oh, okay, I can talk about that. I don't know why they're saying I have a mental health issue. I literally do not have a mental health issue. I've never been diagnosed with a mental health disorder. I've never been on medication for a mental health disorder.
But that's not true, is it, Briana? Here's the picture of you picking up your prescription for your mental health issue, or at least the one that you speak about publicly. Again, check below for the link that you can read the full filing yourself. And go to the Los Angeles Superior Court website to see what other claims have been brought against Briana.
I don't know where this is going. I was with my son's dad for like 5 years. He is the most gentle person. He never put his hands on me in his life. If
You can hurt me all you want. I got bigger charges against you, motherfuckers.
say all that was true. Say you've witnessed all this violence and you've witnessed all this stuff. Mind you,
So of course, I'm going to ask you, what do you think about all of this? Because this is insane. When I started going down this rabbit hole, I was really on the side of, I just want to know who did that to her eye. So I went down the rabbit hole. Then I was mad at her sisters, and then at her mother, because I'm upset. Like, why are they siding with the abuser? It just makes no sense. But after I calmed down and reviewed all the information that's out here on the internet, and again, I can only go off of what is out here on the internet, I did stumble across a pattern in this situation. And one thing that I noticed is that the people that actually know her take her and deal with her in a very casual nature. When it comes to something so serious and so severe, I mean, it seems like the internet is more outraged than the people that actually know her or the people that were a witness to this incident or this situation, or when it comes to her in her building. So one thing that I wanted to point out is even when it comes to the leasing management, they seem to be handling the situation very casually. And the number one thing that stuck out to me in this text thread was Carlos said, "We deal with this every week." And so it also goes and it correlates with her sister and her mother. It just seems like everyone is just casually handling her and dealing with her. And for us, we're outraged because we're seeing her eye. And it just seems like everyone else is just like, we've seen this before, or we've already dealt with this before. And it just doesn't seem like anyone is really taking her serious, which is really enraging us online, because it's like, why is no one taking this woman seriously? But now that we are starting to see the things that are coming out about her and some of the things that she's been involved in pertaining to her past, now we're starting to understand what it may be or why it may be this way when it comes to the people that know her. But one thing that I still want to point out is that her eye looking like that is still an isolated incident for me. So if he did put his hands on her, he needs to be held accountable for that. However, it does seem like she has been the aggressor in past situations, which may be the reason why her sister and her mother is responding in the way that they are. Maybe even the leasing management as well, like they have seen her be the aggressor, and so maybe they're handling the situation very lightly or casually because of that. I'm not really sure, but I am trying to make sense of it. So let me know what you think down below, but let's continue with the story.
If that's the case, why would you be coming to the internet saying, oh, we're trying to heal as a family in peace and stuff? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? To reiterate, the only reason that my sisters or anyone else is involved in this is because I told my story about Ronan, and in his defense, he posted them talking to other people on his page defending him. He posted them, he put them in the line of whatever, and they put themselves in it by even commenting on his page. Because for what? They know the situation, they know what's going on. They've only met him a handful of times. So now in defense for that, everything, I've not said anything bad about it. I'm not coming on here talking about their business, talking about their life. I literally don't have anything to do with them. I am telling you, I have not spoke to them since that last conversation about them not being able to come to San Tropez. I don't understand why it's going this far, and I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling like the outcast in my family. I'm tired of feeling like everything I do is a problem of being judged, and them telling me, oh, get the help you need. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? What help do I need? What are you talking? You know what? Actually, I do need help. I need prayer probably. I needed medical attention. I do need help. Instead, I'm sitting here alone in a damn hotel room in LA trying to figure out what to do next. And I just don't even want to be here anymore.
A lot of you are asking how I even got in this situation, and that is something that I've actually been trying to navigate myself. My healing journey has come with a caveat of self-reflection and also accountability, and I have sat there and thought about what would have, other than the obvious, brought me to this point. I think the obvious is a fucked up family dynamic, whereas there is a lack of support that I have felt, especially engaging with, I feel like, the feminine energies in my house, and I'll actually leave that part there. Also just poor decision making, but I did want to share a little bit more of a substantive background on how this all came about. When I met Ronan, I was working as a full-time attorney, and if you know me, you know that I am an art minor, but a law major, so I went into law, and it really stifled my creativity. I mean, I love the arts and drama and writing and poetry and decor, and I'm able to display that in my design and my home and such, and the meals that I cook, for example, for my kids, and the parties that I throw. But it's really hard for me to have an outlet for that. I was also coming out of a long-term relationship, a 5-year relationship on and off with my son's dad, where the romance had completely sizzled out, and I felt like I was not being treated like a woman anymore. I felt like I was just a mom, and he didn't want to take me on dates anymore or trips anymore, and I didn't feel sexy anymore, and I was just full-time mom mode. And when I met Ronan, he brought that out of me, just transparently. I felt super sexy, super fun. I had never been out to clubs and stuff. Of course, in my earlier 20s, I'm 31 now, I started dressing different. I started really expressing myself creatively through fashion and through perception, and it made me feel very free. So I met someone who was a catalyst to my being able to freely create and show the world my life through my lens. And I felt very safe and protected in that dynamic. I felt early on, I'll say, I felt like I could just do anything, and so I did. I blossomed, I think. And where I think we went wrong is that I just started growing too much. I feel like he had planted a flower, and once others started admiring that flower, he could no longer handle it. So the more people recognized me, the bigger the problem became. Our best days were when we were not on the internet and we just had so much fun going to jazz clubs and just running around LA, like not even spending money, not doing anything. And again, when the world became involved and when people paid me attention and complimented me and admired the way that I'd been presenting myself, that's when everything became havoc. I believe like he has and I'm not going to speak on his experience or his story because it's not my story, but from my understanding, there was an abandonment wound, and it was triggered in my finally being emancipated, and he wanted to contain that. And so he felt like I was just going to be someone to leave him once I started gaining traction or people started paying attention to me. This video is just meant to express what I feel like is a more humane approach to the situation, and I wanted to show up here authentically. Like, I don't want to come on here and be like, oh, I'm healed, F-min, I'm looking good. Like, this is such a slow process, but that it requires like introspection, and it got gauged into as a woman, my self-worth and how I felt about myself and how I related to my femininity and my motherhood and my womanhood and my creativity. And I'm just looking at this from all angles, and I'm just trying to figure out how to best grow from this. I'm super late. I literally have to leave in 15 minutes, but get ready with me for lunch with my friends while I give you guys a little life update. So first of all, I just started leaving the house again. Yesterday I spent the entire day at the pool, which I was so excited about, and I got to spend time with my friends. I am just ready to get back into my life. I want to only engage with positivity and love and support. A lot of you are asking if I am suing my apartments. The answer is yes, I am suing my apartments. Everyone is asking me if he is in jail. The answer is no, apparently he is not. Apparently he is on Instagram or TikTok or one of these social media channels bashing me. So I'm really trying not to pay that too much mind. Honestly, it has nothing to do with me. I guess everything to do with him. Another question I'm getting is, have I talked to my mom and my sisters? No. Pretty sure that the boat for that relationship has sailed. But yeah, this looks crazy, but honestly, it's going to come together. I swear to you, just wait. Another question I get is, has he tried to contact me? Yes, and I told him to never talk to me again, and he's blocked from everything. I'm choosing to focus on the positive, and a super positive that has come out of this situation is my recognition of community and how really you all brought me through. what I feel if not the toughest times in my life. A way that I have been able to celebrate community and been able to pay it forward is I created a Discord. And the Discord is for women who want to overcome whatever situations that they're in, that they feel like have been holding them back in life, and who lack support, resources, love, friendship, encouragement. I want to create a group of women, I did create a group, to completely just support and love on one another and teach each other things. Stop gatekeeping and start exchanging information. What kind of information am I wanting these women to exchange? Book recommendations, workout plans, skincare routines. This morning, for example, someone asked advice on co-parenting with an abuser and like limiting communication, and we were recommending co-parenting apps, stock picks, real estate, things that you would know if you were in an abundant community. We are creating that community because one thing that I have had to teach myself that's really important in my life is to stop trying to prove myself. Why do I always try to prove myself to everyone around me? I try to prove my value and my self-worth and how much I can bring to the table. I realize that I'm always doing that because I have not accepted deep down on a subconscious level that I deserve love just for existing. I deserve attention. I deserve encouragement. I deserve friendships. I deserve good relationships. I don't have to earn these things. I don't have to earn them from people, from men, from friendships, whatever. From parents. I don't have to earn these things. I deserve these things. And I'm not going to let another woman go through her life feeling like I did, whereas I feel like I had to prove myself just to get my basic needs met. Because that, unfortunately, is how women end up in domestic violence situations. When speaking on my situation, I did let you all know that the lack of support is one of the reasons I feel like I ended up there. And again, that just goes back to not believing that you are worthy of love just for existing. So my Discord is open to any and everybody who has ever struggled with that before. I love you. I'm trying not to bother this eye too much. The vibe's not going for. Watch this. It's not like a little bit of color, not too much. Like this color. Then I'm gonna gloss it. Oh my god, I just created the prettiest color, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I need to do my hair Dory. Okay, it's definitely giving a pin-up. It's definitely giving a pin-up, hold on. I am literally running out of space on this video. I'm trying to show you guys everything. Oh my god, look at the earrings. I'm trying to show you guys the whole thing. Okay, so this is the whole thing. This is kind of wrinkly, I know. I don't have time to iron at all. I've been doing my makeup for the past, like, well, it was like 15 minutes, but I got ready anyways, okay? Here are the shoes that I'm gonna wear with this. They are so cute. Oh my goodness. Y'all know I love a denim outfit too, oh my god. I'm literally running out of time for this video, but tell me what you think. I think it's super cute. I'm probably gonna wear my Chanel bag, and that is all. I'm showing you guys all of this in the lighting. So without getting too much into this, I do want to clarify, because I have been getting a lot of questions on like what my dad and brothers think, what my older sister thinks, etc. So basically, when all of this went down, well, first of all, to get the short one out of the way, my dad and my brothers are pissed. They are not happy. They want justice served. I'll just leave it at that. I'm still in communication with my older sister. Prior to all of this happening, she actually had reached out directly to Kayla and told her, hey, we don't mess with Ronan. And this just goes to show you how everybody knew what was up. She messaged her and she said, we don't mess with him because Lyric, who is her partner, she said Lyric basically had to pull Ronan off her. And that whole thing did happen where Lyric had to interrupt. He thought we were alone in the room and he thought Lyric was sleeping, and he started to assault me, and Lyric popped up and was like, no. So Ashley caught wind of that, and she had informed Kayla like, hey, I don't know if you know, but like we don't F with Ronan based on this already. So yes, I'm still in communication with my big sister, but like with respect to all this stuff, like she's respectfully so, because this is not her fight, and she did what she could when she could. She does not want to be a part of all this.
So it seems like the nuance so far when it comes to the situation is that her younger sisters saw her be the aggressor towards Rowan, and Rowan used that to his benefit. And it seems like the older sister witnessed Rowan being the aggressor. And this seems to be the reason behind why the sisters are divided. And then, in my opinion, it seems like the mother is just upset with how she's choosing to handle the situation. And considering her mother most likely being of the older generation, I actually understand why she feels the way that she feels to broadcast this on the internet. It's never going to go away. It's going to follow her forever. So I understand why her mother is taking that approach, because I would assume my mother would probably take the same approach as well, like handle this off the internet. And then when it comes to Rowan, he's on social media. He's doing interviews on TikTok Live. And to be honest, his story is really hard to follow. And in my opinion, I believe that he did hit her. I believe that this was an isolated incident, but then there have been prior incidences where they have both put their hands on each other. And I believe this incident, he put his hands on her and took it so far to the point where she has a bruised eye.
I told you not to be playing like that. Damn.
What did I say? See, now I don't.
You're not saying enough.
I'm not saying enough.
No.
Okay, okay.
Say what happened.
Okay, no.
Say,
no.
Look, I put my hands on him.
Are you serious?
I put my hands on him.
Are you serious?
And you know that's what it was. If y'all want to look at it, look at him like he's crazy. Look at me like I'm crazy.
Are you serious?
If y'all want to look at him like he's crazy,
why are you doing that?
Look at me like I'm crazy.
Why are you doing that?
Because you doing this, staying quiet when they saying all this, baby. That's crazy.
Okay, you're the one who said don't read the comments. You're the one who says this. I'm not getting on here saying they get on here, they see bruises and shit on my arm. That's only one space, by the way, that they see. And you're sitting over here saying, oh, look at, you're trying to throw me under the bus. You do this all the time to make yourself look better. I told you I don't want to talk about it.
Then why did you bring it up?
I didn't bring it up. They brought it up.
Stop all that yelling. Stop all that fucking yelling. Look. Oh, man.
And now, oh my God, yeah, I'm going to be in trouble. Why? Because I'm not saying enough.
Man.
I have to interrupt, and don't get mad. You promise you're not gonna get mad? I'm just gonna say what everyone is thinking. Why is this 31-year-old woman with this 22-year-old? Can someone please make this make sense? Because in that live stream, it really showed their age dynamic. I'm in my 30s, and no way in hell I could date a young boy that is 22. And I'm not saying he's not a man in his own right of being, 18 and up, but I'm saying, like, as a 30-year-old woman, that's like dating a boy to me. I just don't understand why she's dating 9 years younger.
The family's wrong. The family is not wrong. The family was over here before she left to Europe, watching her put her fucking hands on me, rip my chain off my neck, slap me when the daughter's in the house, all types of shit. I never reacted. Do y'all really think that these are her blood sisters? Do you really think it's some jealousy? Do y'all really think it's jealousy? The text to her mom, was it worth knowing me? What did I said, was it worth knowing me? I didn't say that. Baby dad, her ex-boyfriend, right? They fell out. Guess what she did? She went on a whole social media rampage, just like she's doing now, and said that her baby dad was fucking his mom. This is the low, and these are the extremes that she goes to. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't punch her. I did not punch her. I'm looking dead at you. I don't put my hands on girls. Ask anybody I've been in a relationship with before, everybody is shocked. It's just bullshit. Listen, I done said multiple times I've defended myself. She came at me with an object, I defended myself. That's it. I'm not telling y'all more than this. I did not punch her, and that's it. Like I said, I don't hit women. I don't hit women. This whole shit's been physical for 10 months on both parts. On both parts. You know what I'm saying? But now she started off with a slapping and a biting and shit like that. It's to the point now where she's closed fist punching. She's closed fist punching me. As you guys continue seeing each other, yeah, so like I said, I had my homie grab all my shit and bring it to me. I fled. I went to Paris the day after I got out of jail. Okay, I'll post it right now. I'll post it right now. Listen, I just want y'all to open your eyes. Look into my record. Look into...
This is a very serious situation. Do I feel like there's some truth to what Rowan is saying? Yes, because this man don't have a car. So the only thing she could grab, or the only thing that she could destroy of his, was that bite. So there may be some truth. And like I said, it seems like before this isolated incident, it seems like they had a very physically abusive relationship on both ends. That's what it seems like. But within this isolated incident, it seems like he did something to the point where she has a bruised eye and he doesn't want to own up to it.
Hers. The sisters, take it easy on them. They've seen it. They witnessed her put her hands on me. And Lord knows what they experienced before me. But now they've seen that I'm a good person. And they're just like, okay, cool. This nigga does not deserve to lose his life over this shit that she's been doing and they both have been doing for months. This whole month that they were here, she was putting her hands on me, putting her hands on me, putting her hands on me. I am not the type to sit here and ruin this lady's career. You're jealous of what? Bro, I don't need to lie to y'all. She knows the truth. She sat here and said I tried to sexually assault her. She's reaching out to people to see if I had sex with somebody else because da-da-da. She's doing all this shit when I'm asleep. I didn't punch her. I did not punch her. I swear to God, I didn't punch that girl. My knuckles aren't swollen. I didn't punch nobody. My knuckles wouldn't be swollen. I didn't punch nobody. My knuckles wouldn't be swollen. I have no father figure. Anyway, thank you. She never said he beat her. I never beat this lady. I defended myself. She came at me with a fucking candle holder and I defended myself, but I didn't punch her. I know y'all want to put another black man down, but I did not hit this girl. I did not punch this fucking girl, man. I had no money. Yeah, that day I didn't have no fucking money. No, I came up with $200, $300 and immediately bought this lady these damn headphones, and then she was just provoking the shit out of me, saying some other shit.
And I don't know why you just projected on me the fact that you didn't. This weren't $400, first of all. But the fact,
Give me the.
no, they're mine. You already gave them for me.
I don't give a fuck no more. You're
no,
ungrateful, nigga. I
you
don't
just
have
said
shit. I don't have shit. Do you understand that? And I still went and bought the shit. I just got the $200 right now, and I spent it.
You just bought the headphones because
fucking bro. I don't have my rent.
Okay.
And I still bought it right now. So you can be fine.
Ronan.
You're still bitching about it.
Ronan, I'm not bitching. I'm telling you that you did not. Ronan, first of all, you are the one who broke my headphones. So the fact that
I understand
so that you had to
it
replace them.
It could have been it could have been whatever until I had the money and I was comfortable, or at least until I paid my fucking rent. Instead, I said no. I was fucked up, and I went in there immediately and got them.
All right, I'll just give it to you back then. I'll pay for them.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'll give them to you back because look how you're acting.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't want to.
What is wrong with you?
I'm confused.
What is wrong with you?
I'm confused. I'm literally confused as to why you're acting this way.
What is wrong with you, nigga?
Because I don't want to have a conversation with you and you act like this. You don't understand.
What is wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me. I feel like I want to go work out right now. That's all I want to do.
You just fucking threw up. Shut the fuck up and sit here and clean the fucking house or something. Put your fucking dishes away. Clean your dishes, bro. Relax. You just finished working out. Relax.
We're both wrong as fuck. I didn't punch her. He broke her headphones and got mad because he had to pay for it. No, I wasn't mad. She was provoking me that whole time. She was provoking, saying some weird shit. And the minute I'm upset, now she's sitting the phone now, sneaking and recording me. She wasn't so battered. She probably had only the black eye. All the other shit she added. All this other shit is from her stubbing her fucking toe and every fucking thing else. It was toxic as hell. We both sat here and done shit. We've said shit we don't mean. I love the shit out this girl. I didn't apologize for shit this day. I didn't do anything. Multiple times I've defended myself. She came at me with an object. I defended myself. That's it. I'm not telling y'all more than this. I did not punch her, and that's it. That's it. She's coming at me. She ripped my fucking damn shirt off my chest. She closed fist punched me, cut my motherfucking eye. I had an open fucking wound.
Are you fucking kidding me? You got to be fucking kidding me, bro. There's no way. No. Are you fucking with me? Like, you've got to be. This scrotum sucker here, this weak broke bitch here, did this. Okay? Did this. Right? And is asking for money on GoFundMe. And you assholes are giving it to him.
Say I smushed her or mushed her in the face.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much it was her being antagonized or her being aggressive and you pretty much trying to get away from the situation. But for that black eye to affect, was it given like a backhand? Did you mush her like to push her away?
It's like this, open palm.
Open palm. Okay, so in the midst of the open palm, she ended up falling, or what happened after that?
She fell.
This does not look like the face of a woman who fell. Look at her face and tell me she did not fall. You closed fist punched her in the face. And for Rick to set up the question and ask him, oh, so she fell? So she was being aggressive and she fell? Like, seriously? Is this what we're doing on the internet for entertainment? But the interview does continue.
So is it that you guys are used to tussling with each other, or are you used to her abusing you and you just taking it and this time you just finally snap?
I just want to let Rick Rosa know that you coddling this man and siding with him is not going to get him any closer to sleeping with you. You being a pick-me for an abuser is absolutely the most disgusting thing I have seen on the internet in a very, very, very long time. And you should absolutely be ashamed of yourself.
According to him, the reason why their relationship really started to break down was because he took this photo with this woman on the red carpet and she found out about it through social media, or she found out about it when she saw the photos. And so she's been spiraling ever since. And I don't know how true that is. It's really a he say, she say. But again, I came into this whole story, this whole situation by seeing her post that TikTok video with her eye being bruised like most of us. And we just want to know what happened in the isolated incident where her eye got bruised. And it's a bunch of he say, she say. And I dug deeper because I wanted to know, why would the sisters, the younger sisters, and the mother not really come to her defense? That was very odd to me. That was very weird to me. And to be honest, I was on the hunt to find their socials so that I could try to get an understanding of why they took the stance that they took publicly when it comes to this whole situation. And I believe the reason is because each sister has their own point of view when it comes to their toxic relationship. So I believe the younger sisters saw their sister, Briana, at times be the aggressor, which is why they're coming to his defense. And I believe that the older sister saw Rowan be the aggressor when it comes to their relationship. And so they just have different point of views, and I believe the mother knows her daughter and knows that she's not 100% innocent, and she does not like the fact that she took this to social media. So I believe that is why the mother is taking the stance that she's taking. However, when it comes to me, and I'm pretty sure when it comes to the internet, we want to know what happened in the isolated incident where she ended up in the ambulance. She ended up in the emergency room with a concussion and a bruised eye. That's how we all entered the chat. That's all we want to know. And it seems like he put his hands on her, according to him, in self-defense. And it just looks bad. And this is a prime example that if you are in a toxic relationship where your relationship has reached a level where you're both physical and you're putting your hands on each other, it's time to end that relationship. And to the men that are out here, stop dealing with women that are clearly showing signs that they are emotionally unstable, because that to me is where the accountability comes in for him. Okay, you are saying that you took self-defense and you were just protecting yourself, but you could have protected yourself way before it escalated to this isolated incident where you felt the need to physically defend yourself. It seems like you stuck around for financial reasons and you were financially dependent on her, and that's how you ended up in this situation with this woman. So that's all that I have regarding this situation. I would like your thoughts and your opinions down below in the comment section. If you're new here, subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and I hope to catch you in my next one.